Hey everybody, it's Tuesday, and that means it's time for our Q&A with the Family Support Department at St. Louis Arc, and we've got a really great one today. I'm a huge fan of the library because it's got so many undiscovered resources, and we have a guest with us today who is going to give you all the secret special information you need to really dig in and use everything that's available to you at the St. Louis County Library. Without further ado, let me introduce Rebecca Clarke from the St. Louis County Library. Hi, Rebecca.
Hi, Sharon. Thank you so much for having me here with us
Oh,
today, with you today.
everybody is so excited to have you here. We are all big library fans, and I always start off by asking people to tell us a little bit about the place they work. Why do you work at the library, and what's great about the St. Louis County Library?
Sharon, I love working in a public library. I worked in public libraries since August of 2008. So this has been my field for quite some time. I've been at St. Louis County Library since 2014, worked in a number of different roles at a few different branches. And I love my current role in adult services just because I get to sort of wow people with all of our magical mansion of library services, and I get to provide great information and quality programs to everyone in our community. And that's what I love about the public library, that it is truly for everyone. And
Me
that's
too.
I love it.
I'm always encouraging you guys to think about how to get your needs met. You might get them met through technology, maybe through a friend, maybe you've got some skill that you just haven't pulled up and used, but the community is a number one source for resources. And we think that you're going to be dazzled by this presentation today, that there's some good stuff. Let's just dig in. Why don't we start with your presentation so that you can give everybody the big picture about what is available at the library, and then we'll go from there.
Wonderful. Thank you, Sharon. Let me go ahead and share my screen. So basically, I'm here today to share some great tips and tricks about everything that's available at the library, but I'm going to focus on top 10 things to know. And again, my name's Rebecca in Adult Services. I've been here in this role since last September. So in the midst of a pandemic, I transitioned to a new role. So I want to start first with our mission. Everyone that works at St. Louis County Library, we really strive to be the best at what we do to meet this mission, to enrich lives, to enhance lives, to enrich minds, to enhance lives, and to expand perspectives. And I'll sort of go into exactly how we do that for our community. First of all, I want to mention that all of our branches are open. There for a while during the pandemic, we were closed to the public, the branches themselves, but we were still providing great services virtually and like drive-through meals and such. Our hours of operation are basically the same as they were before. The exception would be Sundays are a little bit different. We used to have more branches open on Sundays. We will eventually expand our Sunday hours to the branches that were open before, but as of now, we're sort of focusing on just the regional branches on Sundays. But you'll see that we're open until 9 on Monday through Thursday. So we do our best to accommodate folks that may not be able to get there by 5. You'll see there that we still, of course, do require masks in the library. And if you wish not to come into the branch, or maybe you can't leave your car, you can still give us a call whenever you're there, and we can provide curbside service to you in your vehicle, which is nice. And I also want to mention that when the branches were closed during the pandemic, we made sure to extend our Wi-Fi access in all of our parking lots. And we've kept that now that we're still open. So even outside of those hours that are listed above, you can still get on one of our parking lots and access our Wi-Fi outside of those usual hours. Number 2 here, the library is the best resource for supporting lifelong learning and individual growth. So what I mean by that is that we provide so many individual resources that provide entertainment and enrichment. Listed here are the digital books and entertainment, Libby and Hoopla. Those are great resources to get ebooks, audiobooks. A lot of folks really enjoy audiobooks. Hoopla even has a great music collection, and Hoopla and Canopy both have great movie collections as well. Canopy, you can stream basically whole feature films that you might have to pay for if you didn't have like HBO and such. So check out Canopy if you haven't already. It's available. You can even download the app if you have a Roku at home. You can download the Canopy app and watch Canopy movies on your Roku device. Other resources for online learning I've listed here. So Creative Bug, if you're into learning something new like crocheting, anything to do with arts and crafts, painting, basically celebrating all your creativity, Creative Bug is a great resource that gives people like videos and step-by-step workshops that are available with your library card. If you're trying to learn a new language, I recommend checking out Mango Languages. If you're wanting to learn something new for your job or related to technology or just like personal growth, LinkedIn Learning is a great resource. And tutor.com is a resource that we purchased during the pandemic, realizing that since a lot of kids were at home learning, they needed access to online tutoring as well. So tutor.com is exactly that resource. Now, if you are applying for a job and need some help writing your cover letter or resume, tutor.com even has individuals that if you can share those documents with the folks at tutor.com and they will send them back to you with their feedback. So like real quick, I'm going to show you where you access a lot of these resources from our website. So you can go to our website, slcl.org, and there's using the library virtual branch. This is the site that I'm on, and you'll see there's the digital books and entertainment I mentioned and the online learning. I don't see that tutor.com is listed there. So if you hover over using the library, you can see online tutoring right there, which is nice.
Rebecca, people were asking if the movie streaming is free.
Absolutely. Yes.
I knew it had to be, but I thought I better check.
Everything with the library is free. Absolutely. Yes, everything is free with your library card. The next one here, number 3, card holders can now experience Headspace for free. So this is a brand new resource that we launched August of this year, realizing that there was a need in our community for mindfulness exercise, meditation, sleeping better, being healthier. Like we're all in the midst of a pandemic. This is stressful. So this is a resource that you would have to pay about like $12 or $13 each month if you purchased it yourself, but the library has purchased a number of Headspace memberships for you. So you can log in, visit this website, slcl.org/headspace, to create an account and log in with your library card. I've already used it myself. It helps me to go to sleep, which I enjoy.
You know what I like about that? So many times I download apps because I think I'm going to like it and then I don't really like it. So even if I can afford Headspace, I might want to try it out through the library for a bit to see, is this really something I enjoy and want to pay for?
Mm-hmm. Well, and you get the full access from the library. So it's not like you'd ever have to pay for it, which is nice. So number 4 here, I have, of course, since I'm work to plan a lot of these virtual programs, I have to let you know that we have free virtual programs for all ages and interests. So I want to mention right off the bat that even if you don't have a library card, you can still attend our virtual programs. You can attend either live over Zoom, and a lot of them are being recorded and added to YouTube right now as well. And our topics really vary tremendously. We do our best to meet the needs of all kinds of different people and all kinds of different interests. And we get great feedback about the impact of our programs. You'll see the comment there at the bottom there. But basically, these virtual programs are for all ages and interests. I just have to go over that once again. And you can access all of our events at slcl.org/events. And I'll sort of go into a few that we have coming up. Tomorrow, we have a program all about bats of Missouri presented by our friends at the Missouri Department of Conservation. We have a crafting program later this month, book page bouquets, which is really cool. We regularly have programs to help individuals learn more about getting mental health services and mental health disorders, mental health support, and address stress is one of them. And we try to have at least one weekly physical fitness program. And so this month we're doing beginner cardio every Friday. St. Louis County Library really tries to incorporate a lot of local celebrations. So in celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month, we're hosting Drawing Aztec and Mayan Comics later this week. And our librarians, of course, we're really into reading. We want to share our love of reading. So we like to host books. We like to host programs for book lovers, and this book tasting program is a great example of that. It's going to be so much fun. Basically, they get to choose like 3 or 4 books, and each book is the course of the meal, which is cool. And you'll see some other programs we have coming up, all about your financial goals. We have a program later this month about like college plannings, trying to plan how you would finance your college. So that's a regular topic that you'll see programs about finances. And I just got to let you know that since it's October, we host Fall into Fitness Challenge every October. And you can either pick up a log at a branch or you can participate all online for a chance to win some really cool prizes. So I mentioned that a lot of our virtual programs are being recorded, and I'll sort of show you how to access that. If you go to our website, slcl.org, you can click on this YouTube link right up here to access our recordings. So you'll see here that even in the past week, we added like at least 5 recordings of past programs about great topics. You can click this videos here to access a lot of the past programs about really varied topics. This intro to birding class, I think we had maybe over 300 people or over 200 people attend in person, and over 170 people have since viewed this recording. So what I love about these recordings is that folks can watch these anytime that works for them. And it's really easy to share this information with any family and friends as well, which certainly helps to meet our mission. Number 6 here, we can help you find your next book. So there are 2 individuals within my department who focus specifically on providing readers advisory services. You can sign up for book recommendations in your favorite genre. You can even fill out a short online form to let us know what books you've enjoyed, what books you really haven't enjoyed, and we'll send you a personalized list of books that you may enjoy in the future. And that our Readers Advisory staff, they do that mostly for adults, but they also sort of reach into providing those lists for kids and teens as well. And we have a very large collection of book discussion kits. So if you're thinking about establishing a book group within your community, your church, your organization, you can give us a call and we'll tell you more about our book discussion kits. And you can book like up to 20 books you can check out up to 20 books all at once of the same title. Number 7 here, St. Louis County Library, we're more than just books though. And I've listed a number of great resources that we provide for free that you can check out with your library card. Like tabletop games, a lot of those games are like over $50. And like Sharon was mentioning, you want to test it out, So tabletop games, you can check out one of those from the library, decide if you want to add it to your own personal collection. Musical instruments, same thing. Those cost hundreds of dollars, but you can check out a keyboard or a bass guitar from the library. Video games, we have lots of those for all kinds of different consoles. Telescopes, a $300 telescope you can check out for free at the library. Binoculars, puzzles. We started adding fishing equipment this year, which has been a lot of fun. These portable projectors are so popular. I'm on the holds list myself for one, and it's going to take a while, to be honest. But if you want to host like an outdoor movie night with your family and friends, you can check out a portable projector. And of course, we're going to have Wi-Fi hotspots and Chromebooks. If one of our parts of our mission is to increase access, providing internet service is essential now, basically. So if you need to check out a hotspot, or we even have kits now where you can check out a Chromebook and a hotspot together, you can do so at the library. And again, all for free. So I'll go ahead and click on this link to show you where you can find this on the website.
Oh, that's great. Before you do that, I have to just clarify, because I'm kind of a techno peasant. What's a hotspot? What would I do with that if I checked out a Chromebook and a hotspot? What does that mean?
Thank you, Sharon. So a Chromebook is like a laptop, and a hotspot is basically you plug it in and it has like portable internet. So you do not have to pay for internet service yourself. You check out internet service from the library. And what I love about that is a lot of people bring these on vacation, and or we've heard of people that may not be able to at the moment afford internet at their house, but they still need to work on schoolwork or help with their business. They can check out one of these kits, or hotspot or Chromebook and hotspot kits.
That's just amazing.
Yeah. So other items for checkout, you'll find that under this books, e-media, and more right here. And each one is linked where you can check it out from in the catalog. The exception to that is puzzles. You can just go visit any branch and check out a puzzle. And I do have to mention that in addition to all those items that you can check out for free from the library, these are examples of services that we're providing for free, just giving away. You don't have to return these things. So after school meals, we provide for kiddos, diapers for families, gun locks, and period supplies as well.
I have to ask, how can you afford to do that?
So after school, good question, Sharon. So we work with outside organizations that have these resources at their disposal, and we're sort of the distribution point. So after school meals, we're cooperating with Operation Food Search, because that's their main mission, and that's where their money goes, is providing food. Diapers, we're working with the diaper bank. So we're basically a really good distribution point for a lot of these resources, because our branches are located around the county, and our hours are often outside of what an organization may be able to staff. And
it's such a smart partnership. I love it.
Yes, yes. Number 8 here is you can make one-on-one appointments to learn more about technology and resources. So as you're hearing, the library offers so much. And if you need help learning more about these different resources, how to most effectively use them, or like book a trainer, let's say you've gotten a new piece of technology and you need help with it, you can meet with a trainer in person and do that. I will mention in person right now, it's going to be over Zoom or over the phone, but eventually that service will be expanded once again to in person, where you can go to the branch. Book a librarian is a great service if you're wanting to learn how to use maybe one of our databases. If you're doing like an extended project for school or for your business, then you can book a librarian and talk with one of those folks. And St. Louis County Library has just a great collection of local history and genealogy materials. And if you need help getting started with using all those resources, you can book a genealogist as well. And how you access those services, you can go to our website using the library personalized learning, and there they are listed right there. Number 9 here. So if you don't already have a library card, we want to help you get one. So there are some options, of course. We understand that not everyone can make it into a branch right away, so you have the option of filling out an online application to at least get started. And get started, I mean, once you fill out that online application, you then will be given like a temporary library card that you can use to place items on hold. And then eventually when you go to the branch to pick them up is when you can finalize getting that library card. You can even have them have the library card mailed to you if you can't make it. Or you can, of course, stop by our location and present your photo ID and proof of address. I'll go ahead and share some information about all of the different locations that you may like live in where you still have access to the library. So St. Louis County Library, of course, serves St. Louis County, but sometimes within St. Louis County, there are separate little libraries that are outside of our system, like Brentwood, Ferguson, U City. You can still apply for a library card if you live in one of those places. Same thing with St. Louis Public. If you live in the city of St. Louis, you can still get a library card for free. St. Charles County, you can get one for free. And we've expanded into other counties. So Franklin County, Jefferson County, Gasconade County, Warren County, we're really expanding our access to a lot of our resources and services. So if you live in one of those counties, then you likely have access to the library. And finally, number 10, we just love sharing our passion for library services. It's really like a magical mansion of of services. That's St. Louis County Library. So I want to thank you, Sharon, so much for allowing me to come on and share all that we have to offer.
Oh gosh, I just think it's just so cool to think about all the different ways the people that are listening to this could get involved, from learning new things to being able to borrow fun stuff to enjoy, or maybe to learn to play an instrument. Those are all things. I have a lot of friends who have checked out instruments and the delight they share. And somebody told me they have banjos now and they were so excited. And I just love listening to that. So I'm not going to talk too much because we have a long list of questions. You answered the question about how to get a St. Louis County Library card. We did have a pre-submitted question that said, what happens if I move? If I move out of state, how can I still get access to the great resources you've got?
Sharon, that's a great question. And so basically, once you have a library card, if you come to the library today and you establish an account, that library card is good for 2 years. So even if you move outside, really, you have access for 2 years. Now, after that 2 years is finished, if you still wish to use the library's resources, then you can purchase a membership for $50 a year for your family.
Okay, wonderful. That seems very reasonable. Do you happen to know what the suggested age range for Headspace is?
Oh, I would say probably starting with your teens, like 13 and over. But I know we market it mostly to adults, but I bet you teens would definitely could take advantage of those resources.
Fantastic. We've got a comment. Somebody says they're going to check out binoculars and fishing poles for their next vacation. So
Yay!
that's super exciting to hear. And John wants to know what kind of instruments they have.
Oh, good question. So Sharon, you mentioned banjo, keyboards, bass guitar, ukuleles, acoustic guitars, drums, xylophones, bongos.
So there's the link to the musical instruments in case anybody wants to go and just tool around and see what those are. We also have some questions about where you get your speakers for your adult programs.
Because St. Louis County is a fairly large city with like lots of great community organizations, local colleges, and experts, we do our best to work either with nonprofits or educational institutions for our programs. And
And
yeah, we're lucky that we have so many.
is that part of your job in adult services to book those speakers?
Yes, indeed. Indeed.
Cool. Well, that sounds like a lot of fun.
It is.
So a book discussion kit, is that something for the person that's going to lead a book club that would help them with questions? Is that what would be in that
Oh,
kit?
yes, I'm glad you mentioned Sharon. Yes, each book discussion kit is going to come with a personalized, like if you say you need like 5 copies of the book and 2 copies of the audiobook and 1 large print, we'll do our best to abide by what you need. But each kit also comes with a list of book discussion questions.
Nice. So you really help get the books and stuff too. One of my book club members is on here today, and we've struggled sometimes to find the right online platform to get our books. So everybody, this could be a good thing for you to go back and double check.
I want to
Yes.
mention that our resource Hoopla, what I love about that resource is that everything you see in that catalog on Hoopla is available immediately for checkout. There's no holds lists.
Oh,
So
wow.
if you are hosting a book discussion, that is a great resource to use because then everyone will have access to.
Oh, that is very cool because I sometimes wait for books for months. So that's really great. There's a few questions about room rental, and I know that's one of the things that I've used the library for. If you want to hold your book club at the library or have a meeting or something, are there spaces that you can rent? Is there a fee for that?
I'm glad to say that we have eliminated our fees to use our meeting rooms. Now, right now, they're not in use by the public anyway, but once that has been reinstated, there will be no fees. And almost every branch now has study rooms that you can use for free.
That's awesome. But all of that is still not available right now. Is that correct? The study rooms off?
I think
Not
I'm
sure. So
not in a
check your
branch
local
anymore, Sharon.
library.
Yeah.
You guys should go check out the local library and ask some of those specific questions about your library. I assume because of the pandemic, you're not having volunteers right now. During typical times, do you ever have people volunteer at the library?
Yes. During typical times, pre-COVID, we loved having volunteers help us with tasks at basically every branch would have a core of volunteers. And we especially like using volunteers, like teen volunteers, especially for our summer reading club, because a lot of branches set up tables that, and then we help individuals sign up for summer reading club at that table. And those volunteers would be in charge of that and giving out prizes and such.
Oh gosh, that sounds like a lot of fun. All right. Well, I think we'll probably have people that want to do that. I know that I help a lot of adults with disabilities who would really like a library type job. Either they've gotten some education around library sciences, or maybe they just have a love of books. And so having an opportunity to be in that setting, even as a volunteer, could be a really good stepping off point to get a job. We've got to kind of start where you can get in the door sometimes. So
I know I loved having volunteers help us shelve DVDs at the library. That helped us tremendously to get them back on the shelf.
Oh, and for our movie lovers, that sounds like a ton of fun. I just want to mention, people talked about what was available physically at the library. One of the things that I always promote, I do a weekend planner, is the Not So Quiet music series. I love the idea that the library is offering concerts to people. When you do think, Eddie, about it being a quiet space and they have concerts. So that's a cool thing. Do you have other events like that happen when we're face to face?
Oh, when we're face to face, we'll absolutely get back to having more concerts presented by like local musicians and more like fun performances like that. So stay tuned. Eventually, it's happening.
Take advantage of all these things Rebecca is showing us are available to us online, because that's the way to stay engaged, to stay healthy and mentally happy, is to keep yourself busy. Learn to knit, learn a few words in a new language. Read a book. There's so many different things you can do. This is just so exciting. We're coming to the end of our time, but I do have 1 or 2 more questions. I'm just going to look here and see. So So when you're checking stuff out, like the really, popular banjos or fishing poles, those things might have a wait list.
Yes, yes. A lot of those like special items available for checkout, they are going to have wait lists. But if you're on hold for something, once it's available to you, you'll get likely an email notification if you set that up within your account. Or if you don't have email, then we'll give you a call when it's
Okay.
come in.
So I know when I check out my book and there's a wait list, they say it's probably going to be 8 weeks. So if I was going to go on a vacation, could I kind of plan forward that it looks like an 8-week wait? I'm going to put it in now and cross my fingers.
What I love is you can place it on hold anytime. And then you can actually, when you get really close to getting it, you can freeze your hold. And what that means is you freeze your place in line.
Oh,
And then you
that's a
can
good tip.
unfreeze it whenever you're pretty close to your vacation or whatever.
That is so cool. All right.
So remember to unfreeze it. I've done that where I've not remembered.
All right. So that's the tip of the day right there, is the freeze opportunity, everybody. The last question I'm just going to ask is, how are library services funded? Why do we get to have a free library?
Oh, we get to have this wonderful free library from our tax dollars. The St. Louis County Library is basically your property taxes at work. Most of our money comes from property taxes. And a lot of that pool goes into paying library employees, but a good portion of it, like about half of it, goes into providing services and resources.
All right. I'm really glad you asked that question, because so many times I think we grumble and don't want to pay taxes, and we forget about some of the really great ways those tax dollars are spent to buy a few apps for Headspace and then have them available to everybody, or the service, whatever that looks like. What a cool way to use that money. So can people make recommendations? Like if they'd love it if you check stuff out, would they contact you, Rebecca?
Yes. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and put in a link to the contact us page.
Oh, good. We've got a few people that want to know how to reach you.
Yes, you can contact us, and you can submit any ideas in that way.
Fantastic. All right. Well, I think everybody really had a good time today. Sounds like we've got people that are going to try out some apps and rent some instruments. And I've got a couple people saying they can't wait to come and volunteer when there's an opportunity. So this was really, really fun. Thank you so much for spending all this time with us. All right. All right, you guys, have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Take care.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Rebecca.